Please describe your job title and primary duties.
The job title at the time was model, even though it really didn't have much to do with the actual typical like model type. But what you did was you help customers. You could ring up the register, or you would stand in the front and greet people. You could do, most of the time they would have you do one day and then do another the other day. So majority of the time you would either be, like I said, like ringing on the register or standing in front greeting people or helping people in the system too if they need it.
What was the work environment like?
The atmosphere with the employees and managers were really, really laid back, really casual. With the customers, it was a little bit more like maybe chaotic, just because you get a lot of them at the same time. So when and it's really loud in there, and a lot of people don't know what they're looking for. So with the customers, it was a little more fast-paced, but with the employees and just like the rules and everything, it was really, really laid back and really relaxed.
Please describe a typical day as an employee.
You clock in, go in the back, and for me, it was everybody knew each other, and everybody got along really well. So you'd spend a lot of your time, like engaging in like conversation and stuff like that in the back, and then you get your assignment of where you're going to go, where you're going to be stationed, if you're going to take over for somebody or whatnot, and you would make sure the room doesn't look like it's a mess. And if you see any customers, you just say hi to them. If they look like they need help, ask them. If not, just kind of leave them alone. And just a lot of they just wanted you to make sure you were upbeat and you were in a good mood and everything. So they'd always ask you that before you actually went out on the floor, like, everything going okay, make sure you're in a good mood, because they didn't want anybody to kind of almost like give like a bad vibe. So
how would you describe the application and interview process?
I had worked for Hollister as a part of Abercrombie & Fitch, and so I originally was working at the Abercrombie & Fitch store, and I didn't like it as well as I thought. And I had I'd been in Hollister before and really liked the atmosphere and everything, and asked one of their managers if I could switch over. So they said yes, just fill out an application and go through the interview process. And what it was they had like a big group interview and they had them on Wednesdays, I think Fridays, and they would just kind of ask some basic questions and get an idea of what the crowd of potential employees and workers were. And they would just kind of ask you to go around and say your name and say something that you like. And they were looking for people that were very like charismatic and outgoing, and kind of stood out. And so the first interview would be, like I said, it was like a big group interview. And then if they called you back, they would have you come back in the group of everybody else that they called back. And then they'd have you fill out, like, it was more like a final application, I guess, like get your like more personal information and stuff like that. And from there, they would give you a schedule and give you training.
What questions did the interviewer ask during the job interview?
They would ask you your name, ask you if you were in high school, they ask you what school you went to, or if you were in college, ask you what school you went to, or what your major was, what school you actually attended, and they would ask you what you like to do for a pastime, or like what your interests were, different stuff like that. And they also would, I didn't realize this until after I got hired. One of my managers told me they actually would observe how the group actually interacted with each other before they actually even started the interview process. They would see who was talking with other people, who may have been like really shy and just kind of like not talking to anybody, who were some of the others that, might tell a joke or something like that, just to get an idea of what they were without, trying to impress the actual company. So I thought that was kind of cool.
What other advice would you give to a job seeker looking to get employment?
From my experience, just be yourself, and just if you have like a outgoing personality, and stuff really doesn't bother you, you're easygoing, easy to get along with, you really won't have a problem, because that's exactly what they're looking for.